We had already invested almost $80,000 into the space to renovate it and build it out. A lot of my own time was spent in it. My original plan was to create a community space, a gathering place, a tap room where visitors and locals could come together and create community. We had planned to open at the beginning of the year in 2020. The pandemic hit, and we didn't open when we thought we were going to open. My hope was that it would pass through and it would just go away. Of course, that was lofty dreams. I had quit my job right as the pandemic became a thing, so there's no rewind. I couldn't go back to my boss and ask for my job back and give back my money to my 401k. So the bus had left the station, I was on the bus, and so I had to make the best of the situation that was handed to me. The rent would eventually make it so that I would have no more money in the business, so I knew I had to make something. My thinking was, if I make any money, it's better than no money for the business. It gives me an opportunity to start brewing on the system, to really get it down. So I shot for an opening in mid-June for to-go only, which is a complete flip-flop of what my original plan was. There were definite moments where I was crying and so had no idea what to do and afraid for, my family and the business. It felt like a lot of the stress of the business, the future of the business, how it's going to do, what's next for it, whether it succeeds or fails, was all on me. And so I needed to do it. It was up to me to do it. I had to talk myself through what that next step would be, and it wouldn't be to just quit. It wouldn't be to just lie down. It wouldn't be to go walk off into the night and never look back. It was to stay grounded and stay focused and know that when you wake up in the morning, you'll be refreshed and that you can keep moving. What kept me going is probably just one little voice in my head speaking slightly louder than the other. I will figure it out. Failure happens. If it fails, it fails, and there's really nothing you can do as long as you tried your hardest. So I was successful in surviving the pandemic, and I've seen the beginnings of what I wanted to do before any of this happened. I wanted to create a community space. There are regulars who come into my tap room. There are relationships being created. One of my part-time employees, I have 2 employees. I never thought I would be there. One of them pointed out, this place is the date night place. This is the place where couples come to hang out, and they love it. When people come in, they're like, oh, I love your signage. I love seeing your business in town. It's really helping to revitalize our community. You're really giving back. All those desires of mine to give back to my community, to create a community space, is happening. I really want your time in the brewery to be an experience, and for you to understand my process and what went into it. I treat my brewery like a kitchen, almost. When you come in, you may have had something 2 weeks ago, and it's just not available anymore. It's something else or the next iteration of that beer. I only use Vermont malted grains. Right now I'm able to source them from the town next door.
It's really cool to be able to buy a local product where, you can also go right down the road and see where it's grown, know the farmers.
It's definitely more gratifying in knowing that you're you're all kind of working together?
I was in community economic development before I decided to open a small business. And in that work, I encouraged people to follow their passions, to improve their community, DIY, roll up your sleeves, the money will find you. I would look at my own community and say, why aren't people doing that here? What's holding folks back? I reflected on what my own advice was in these communities and decided to do it myself. I actually have another small business embedded in our tap room where she can own and run and follow her own passion around food. We're creating two businesses where before there was only one. By helping each other, we help our community to grow, and during a time when you needed them most, the pandemic, this community gave fully and accepted us fully into the community. They bought the beer, they wrote reviews, they sat down in the tap room when we opened in August through November. They went to all the pop-ups. Without them, I would definitely not have survived the pandemic. I feel like I've gotten through a lot of the humps, and I know what it's like to be at pretty much the bottom of where I can be. I want to create something that really speaks to me, and if I can go in there and do that every day, and if I fail, so be it. But at least I did the best I could following my passion and my dream, honestly.